I opened my third eye by doing a combination of Western ceremonial magic, the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram, the Middle Pillar, and invoking Archangels into my bedroom, as well as doing tantric Kundalini yoga methods that are thousands of years old and some even say are lethally dangerous, meditating on letters and phrases of the sacred Hebrew alphabet, printing out the Enochian Tablet of Union, and going on hundreds of vision quests in the astral realm, all over the course of about 4 years. But I'll come back to all that later.
I'm a simple man, don't wanna complicate you. Complicate you.
It's important to say that when I started on this journey, on my spiritual path, opening my third eye was not part of the plan. That was not part of the goal. I didn't even know what that was. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know that was a real thing. That isn't what I set out to do. So yeah, I am going to describe to you how to open your third eye, or at least some methods that ought to get you there. But I gotta say up top, it's like, this is not an easily teachable thing, you know? It's kind of a mysterious process that is not easily described. I always thought third eye was kind of a new age metaphor used by Burning Man bros and people who wear like flowy pants with sacred geometry and wear crystals around their neck and like are really insufferable. But no, it wasn't until it actually started to happen that a real physical biological change was happening in my body. And I was like, all right, what is this? It's impossible to say whether or not this will happen for you, how it will happen for you, and the length of time that that will take. It's going to be completely different for everybody. And this process is deeply tied into your ancestral DNA, your karma, your connection to your highest self, and all these deeply complex metaphysical ideas that I can't possibly understand. But if you're here watching this video, there's probably a good indication that like you're on the right path and that it is possible to happen for you, but I can't guarantee it. And not everybody is in this incarnation to awaken. You've probably seen these videos out here that are like, activate your third eye in 3 minutes, and it's like, come on, dog. That's not how this works. That's pretend. That's fake. That's clickbait for people who want to fast pass to spirituality. And you're smarter than that. Now, the methods they're describing in those videos might very well be valid, but it's like, man, it's not a microwave burrito.
Now then, let's examine what is actually happening on a physiological level. Now, scientific research on this topic is relatively limited, but becoming more prominent all the time. Suffice to say for now that what we understand is happening is decalcification of the pineal gland. The pineal gland is a small pea-shaped endocrine gland located in the center of the forehead between the two hemispheres of the brain. We know that one of the things it does is regulate circadian rhythm by producing melatonin. And it has been linked to transcendental or mystical experiences in spiritual traditions. Now, the pineal gland contains piezoelectric crystals. That's right, there are crystals inside your very head. And it is believed that these crystals respond to electromagnetic fields or vibrational frequencies. Some theories suggest that Kundalini activation, or a state of deep meditation, actually produces an electrical charge, stimulating those crystals and leading to higher states of awareness. Now, there's some debate, but it's possible that any of the following practices will help foster you along in this process. Reducing the body's exposure to fluoride. That one's the most hotly debated, but let's not worry about it for now. Eating antioxidant-rich foods such as turmeric, raw cacao, or iodine-rich seaweed. It's also possible that fasting or following strict diet protocols will help benefit the body in this process.
But see, I didn't know any of those things at the time that my third eye was in the process of awakening. I was still eating whatever I wanted. I was actively consuming alcohol in that period of life and smoking tobacco, and ultimately it still occurred. So, you know, I wouldn't necessarily recommend those things. I do think that the cleaner that the body is overall, it's going to be beneficial to this process. But I mean, listen to your own body's wisdom, use your intuition, and do what feels right to you. As to its spiritual associations, in traditions like Hinduism, Buddhism, Hermeticism, the third eye point, or the Ajna chakra, has been connected to things like inner vision, intuition, and expanded consciousness. Some traditions use things like extended chanting or fasting, extended periods of fasting, or even using psychedelic plant medicines such as ayahuasca, psilocybin, and even cannabis to help awaken this center.
Hey Josh, I have a question.
Oh, would you look who it is, folks? Gosh, I'm glad to have you here. I didn't think we could afford the licensing for you.
Oh yeah, not to worry. I'm actually Berman. Well, so it seems like what you're telling us is that I can just take a bunch of drugs and then my third eye will be awakened and I don't even have to do any of that boring stuff like meditate. Woo! Drugs are the best! Fast pass, baby! Woo, 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 woo.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Because I think I saw on probably Reddit one time that like people talk about how they take drugs and then they have a spiritual experience and then they think they're the moon goddess of the sky.
Yes, there have been many accounts of people's third eyes being awakened through the process of using psychedelic plant medicines, but I would say it is not necessarily the wisest path to use only psychedelics for the sole purpose of trying to awaken your third eye. Everyone's body chemistry is different. Everyone's response to those substances is different, and it's too unpredictable to try to use them for that purpose. And sure, if you feel drawn to any of those medicines, if it seems like something that you would like to seek out and pursue, then do so. It may very well be helpful, but let's just put it this way. Those medicines were not a part of my process of awakening my third eye, but I've used plenty of them since that time, and having my third eye activated led to much deeper and greater experiences of those plants once I had opened up that energetic center.
Like the joy you used to. I know that you're gonna have it your way, you're nothing at all. But I think you're moving too fast. Moving too fast.
3 things that I think are crucial to have during this process are patience, discipline, and a deep, intoxicating desire to have a connection with divinity, to know your highest self, to know that you are a supreme being living in a human body. So now you're already those things. There's nothing to achieve here. Opening your third eye does not make you any more or less spiritual than you already are right now. You are already a supreme being. You are God. You are divine. You just may not know that yet. And opening your third eye can help deepen your connection and give you more layers of context for interacting with the spirit world, with the ether, with your ancestors, with your own highest self. But it's not some fucking trophy that you hold over other people. It is not gate kept. It's available to anyone, and it's happened in infinitely vast, bizarre, strange ways. At the beginning of this video, I mentioned a pretty wide array of practices and things that I did, and that's because each new discovery, each new spiritual system and set of metaphysical ideas was like a stepping stone to lead me to the next thing. I would sit with one for a while and work with it, and through that reading and practice and study, it would lead me to something else. None of them were invalidated, and all of them were useful. All of them were part of the whole process that was unfolding. So yeah, the short version is I get interested in ceremonial magic. I read these books. I start practicing Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram. Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Hexagram, Middle Pillar. I do those every single day for a year and start to experience auditory phenomena around me, this sort of like static electricity, buzzing pressure in the center of my head. To my surprise, Magick ends up leading me to Hinduism and Eastern mysticism, specifically Vedanta teachings and reading books by swamis in that tradition. And I go down this rabbit hole of Kundalini Tantra and doing this intensive, regimented meditation through each of the 7 chakras, an hour a day, 30 days per chakra, and kind of opening up those energetic channels. Then I found myself reading Jewish mysticism and studying the Hebrew Kabbalah and spending substantial time meditating on each of the letters of the sacred Hebrew alphabet. And these were almost like little astral video games for the soul. Vibrating those sounds and meditating upon them would take me on these little adventures in my imagination, and each Hebrew letter had a very distinct set of attributes and colors and associations. There is something incredibly powerful interwoven into those very letters. Then I ended up doing this elaborate 50-day long Enochian magic ritual in which I was saying a prayer 3 times a day without fail, never skipping once, in this angelic language, pause 3 times throughout the day, say the prayer. And lastly, the astral visions. So this is kind of hard to describe because in one sense, it's all happening in the imagination, so to speak. It's traveling the astral is all within your head. But as Lon Milo DeQuette put it, your head is bigger than you think. And so what I experienced is during meditation, I would get little glimpses of a scene or a setting or another plane of existence, another aspect of reality that my system was able to tap into. I kept being shown other wavelengths of energy, other aspects of this reality that are, in a certain sense, absolutely real. It's like with the third eye open, your intuition and your inner vision gets much stronger, because these were much more than just an imagined scene that I was directing in my own head. It was very much like I was being shown a vision, so to speak, and taken on a sort of journey, very much like the types of visions that are described in sacred texts, in stories from the Bible of people having encounters with angels or with God. It's very possible you will experience the same. This again was just like another layer, another section, another piece of processing. It's like hitting my soul or my energy body or my aura, hitting it from different angles. And essentially what I think all of these things did was cleanse my aura, clear out energetic debris in my energy body, and clear blockages along the Ida and Pingala energy columns along the spine, the spiral around the spine. And it's like, even that language, it's like, what the fuck does any of that even mean? What are we talking about here? And it took me so long to even believe that this could be real, that by saying words or meditating on things and sitting there with my breath and my eyes closed and like doing these random ass fucking things that I used to think were completely fake, this is causing a tangible physical change in my body and is causing me to have these transcendental, mystical, supernatural experiences and experience phenomena that I previously would have never thought was possible. And listen, it's because as soon as one piece of information was opened up, all these other things start making sense. I just wanted to experience and play with and experiment with as many different systems or channels or ways of operating as I could. I realized that it was all just like different lenses reflecting the same source of light. Okay, finally, here's how you actually do the damn thing. Here's the whole reason you clicked on this video. This that I'm about to show you is going to become your new practice for meditation and for opening your third eye. So, sit in a comfortable seat. It's fine if you're on a pillow or a meditation seat. You can sit crisscross. It's fine if you sit on a chair or a couch. I would recommend straight legs with feet on the floor if you use that method. You're going to use a very well-known mantra, Om. This has been used for thousands of years. There is power in the vibration of this very phrase or word. The seat in which you meditate and build up time in that same spot regularly, that spot is going to build an energetic charge. And it's also going to be kind of a trigger for your brain that this spot is where I meditate, this is where I pray, this is where I do ritual. It's important to have a spot that is just for that, if you can, in your home, where you're not going to be disturbed by pets or by kids or roommates or anything. So if you are vibrating the mantra out loud, it's best if you can be as reverberant as possible with it. As you feel your own voice making this sound, start with the O sound. Send that attention down into your root, down into the base of your spine where your root chakra is, kind of right beneath your genitalia. That is where the Kundalini energy is seated right now in this moment in your body, sleeping, resting, waiting to be awakened. You send your energy down and start it there. And as you vibrate the sound, you kind of feel it reverberating through your body upward up to your third eye point. And if you're able to visualize the Om symbol in the center of your forehead. See that symbol glowing pure white or gold or even bright blue. You see it vibrating there, and that it's like a tangible entity. It's like a little charm made of gold or something, or made of pure white light. And so you see the symbol itself, but you also try to imagine feeling it buzzing and vibrating there in that spot. You want to send as much of those vibrations to that point as you can. It's part of the intention that's letting your body and your whole energetic system and your higher self know, like, hey, this is where I'm sending energy over and over repeatedly for the purpose of awakening that pineal gland. So I'm going to demonstrate for you one long out breath vibrating the phrase Om. And you might notice the O sound, kind of, you feel it here. You feel it in your torso primarily. But once you get to the you can kind of do this like that you more feel in your head. And that is where you want to send the attention to that third eye point. So try to keep doing that rhythm, basically until you kind of hit your limit where you feel tired or feel like it's been enough for the day. This is going to be different for everybody, especially if you have not had a practice like this before. It might be 1 minute, it might be 3 minutes, it might be 5 minutes, 10. That's fine. Do whatever you're able to do. You don't have to force yourself. This doesn't have to be a grind, but also recognize it's going to take some time. No matter what, it's going to take some time. And you know that this is partially the goal, but also what your practice is doing is a larger, more important intention of being on the path to awakening, being on the path to enlightenment. It's not easy, you know? We have the choice to do so many other things in life with our time and be distracted or play or work. It's important that you're taking this time, and your higher self knows, the divinity within you knows that you are serious about this, and that yes, you want to open your third eye, but also you want to awaken to your true nature. You want to unlock and realize the divinity that you are and make that connection stronger. Ideally, over time, you can build up to 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45, an hour. An hour a day is great. I mean, an hour is putting you in a tiny, tiny percentile of the rest of the world who is mostly not meditating at all. So the method that I described, is that the only way to open your third eye? Absolutely not. Is it the best way even? Not necessarily. It's just what worked for me. But I might have been doing a little subliminal messaging on you by showing you a handful of different spiritual systems, and those are only a fraction of what is available out there. Ultimately, the purpose of this video is to express to you, you follow what feels exciting and true to you. Follow whatever practice and path resonates with you right now, and follow that path as far as it leads until it dead ends and you graduate from that school, so to speak. Whatever you feel drawn to, you are going to learn and make progress on that path. You might stay with it for the rest of your life, or you might stay with it until it feels like you've kind of learned all there is to learn from that tradition. And that is okay. It is all valuable. As long as you are doing this with intent and seriousness and awareness, then all of this is meaningful and useful. All of it is part of the process of waking you up. Okay, and here are some phenomena that you are most likely going to experience while you are in this process. Number one, synchronicities. Especially if you have never meditated before, or if you have not necessarily been on a spiritual esoteric path, you are going to start experiencing coincidences, so to speak, that you have never experienced before. These ones are going to be so precise and specific to your psyche and to your particular life that it's going to be like, what the heck is happening here? And this is good. This is a good sign. Don't get too hung up on them, but these are little winks from the universe going, yes, 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 keep going. You're on the right track. Keep going. It's like beginner's luck, sort of. It's just feedback from the universe as you are waking up to the true nature of reality and how intelligent and aware and playful it is that reality is responding back to you, and it is a part of the process of showing you your true nature. So be excited. It's going to be fun. You might start seeing angel numbers everywhere. I'll bet after watching this video, you're going to see 222. Second, your dreams are going to change. It is possible that you will start becoming lucid in your dreams, and this is a bigger topic, but use your dreams as a space to continue spiritual progress. If you are able to call upon your higher self, if you are able to move energy within a dream, if you are able to speak your intent to awaken in this lifetime, those are all great things to do. It's very possible that you will have some alarming dreams, some terrifying dreams that will be unlike any dream you have ever had before. And you don't need to be afraid of this. You're not doing anything dangerous, even if the entities or experiences that you're having in these dreams are dark and scary and terrifying, hellscapes. Part of it is that stuff is getting worked out of your karma, your aura, your energetic body, trauma held in your own body. Your energy is getting cleared as you're doing this, and some of the stuff that is leaving you or getting awakened in you can be pretty shadowy. I would highly recommend, no matter what, keep a dream journal that is only for dreams. Don't write any other entries in there. Keep one beside your bed to write them down as soon as you wake up. This is going to be crucial, important info, and it's helpful to just have a log to return to. Something that doesn't make sense now might make sense later. As your pineal gland is waking up and decalcifying, it's very possible that you will get headaches or even migraines. This only happened for me maybe 4 times total out of several years. So it may not happen at all, but it is something physically changing inside of your head. And sometimes as that stuff is getting broken up, it can lead to some pretty bad headaches, but they only lasted for me like a day. Also, it's very possible that while you're sitting there in your meditation seat, that you will start to experience tremors or shakes, like your body is starting to sort of wiggle. Your spine will twist and manipulate itself in a way that feels out of your power almost. It's a separate energy or a separate influence actually moving your body. Just let this happen. Don't be freaked out. Nothing medically troubling is happening here. The Hindu texts talk about that this is releasing blockages for one thing. They have this concept called the nadis, which are kind of like thousands of tiny little chakras, tiny little energy points all throughout your nervous system. And if your body is blocked, which almost everyone's is in some ways, as the energy starts flowing to those areas, it's gonna be, shaking them loose from your system. So just breathe through it, let it happen. It's nothing to be worried about. It's also possible that you will start to experience auditory phenomena that seems like it's coming from within your head or immediately outside around your head, sort of like a static electricity sound. The point for now for you is to ignore it. And it's, again, just that you are being made aware of new layers and realms of reality. You are being sensitized to new wavelengths of energy, and that is honestly probably only going to increase. Ignore it. Don't worry about it. And final thing, it's possible that while you are doing this, you are going to start meeting other people who are on a similar path or wavelength. If these people aren't in your life already, spiritual seekers to put simply, some of those people are going to be kind of like a little lesson from the universe of who you don't want to be and who you would like to avoid. People whose energy is chaotic and whose path is messy. But hopefully you will also make some great new connections of people who are doing this work, of people who are at a similar stage in their spiritual path, so that you can have some camaraderie at this stage and bounce ideas off of each other. Given a long enough time, when you are ready, you will meet a mentor or a person who is more advanced, so to speak, than you, who can help you progress in ways that books and your own practice and learning in other ways just can't do. Your higher self knows, the universe knows when you're ready for a mentor. You don't really need to go seeking one out. Usually they will come. And sometimes a mentor is just a social media personality or a podcaster or an author that you find at exactly the right time, that's talking about the stuff that you feel like you're learning or experiencing at that moment. So pretty likely that that will happen. And be excited, my friend. You are setting out on a grand adventure. This universe is far more strange than you can possibly fathom, and you are in the process of pulling back that veil and revealing the true nature of yourself, the true nature of divinity and of this reality. This reality is flexible. It is like a video game. It can be manipulated and played with, and the universe does want to play. Thank you for letting me take you on this journey. I'm excited for you. Please do write in the comments what you are experiencing right now and what you feel drawn to. And if I can be helpful, send a message. Until next time, namaste.